You're not unhappy because life is hard. You're unhappy because you've been trained to wait for happiness, like a paycheck that never arrives. What if joy isn't something you find, but something you forge? In a world obsessed with comfort, discipline looks like punishment, but maybe it's the only path to peace that lasts longer than 5 minutes. You don't need another mood boost. You need a mindset shift, because if your joy can be taken away by a rude email, it was never real joy to begin with. Welcome to StoicCraft, where we don't wait for life to get easier. We train our minds to get stronger. If you're tired of chasing short-term happiness and ready to build peace from the inside out, you're in the right place. Push yourself to be happy every day. Stoic mindset for daily peace and strength. Happiness doesn't just happen. It's not some rare gift that lands in your lap when life gets easy. It's something you build with effort, with intention, and with a little bit of defiance. Because let's be honest, most days don't feel inspiring. They feel heavy, demanding, relentless. But you don't wait for joy to knock. You go out and meet it. Not by chasing excitement, but by choosing to show up for your values, especially when it's hardest. Happiness, the kind that lasts, doesn't come from luck. It comes from discipline. That's not motivational fluff. That's ancient wisdom. And today we build it one small practice at a time. We've been sold a lie that happiness is something you earn after success, after the bills are paid, after life finally slows down. But the Stoics would tell you, happiness isn't a reward. It's a responsibility. You don't need a perfect day to feel peace. You just need to stop outsourcing your emotional state to conditions you can't control. You choose your mindset. You train your perspective. And you do it daily. There's power in saying, even if nothing changes out there, I will still build peace in here. That's not denial. That's self-mastery. Start your day not by asking, what do I feel like? But what kind of person do I want to be today? That question shifts everything. How you start your morning shapes how you meet the world. If you reach for your phone before you reach for your breath, you've already surrendered your mind to noise. But if you take even 2 minutes to sit with your own thoughts before the world intrudes, you've already reclaimed your peace. The Stoics began their days in reflection, not to predict the future, but to prepare their posture. You don't need an hour-long routine. You need one moment of clarity. Before the demands pile on, decide how you will respond. Choose presence over panic. Choose calm over chaos. You can't control the day, but you can choose who shows up to live it. Happiness isn't always a warm feeling. Sometimes it's cold discipline. It's dragging yourself to the mat when you'd rather stay in bed. It's keeping a promise to yourself when no one's watching. It's choosing the harder path, not because you love pain, but because you respect the person you're becoming. Discipline isn't the enemy of joy. It's the foundation of it. Because every time you follow through, you build trust with yourself. And that trust turns into confidence. And confidence becomes peace. So yes, push yourself. Not out of punishment, but out of love, because the strongest version of you doesn't wait to feel good. He builds good days, one difficult decision at a time. Action before emotion. That's the Stoic way. We've been conditioned to wait until we feel ready, but readiness is a myth. The truth is, Motion creates motivation. You don't get energized by thinking. You get energized by doing. Take one small step and your mind follows. Stand still and your emotions start spiraling. The Stoics didn't wait for moods. They acted from principle. So the next time you're stuck in a slump, don't ask how you feel. Ask what your next right action is. Then do it, even if it's small, even if it's quiet. Because happiness doesn't come from waiting. It comes from moving forward with clarity. What you focus on expands. If you obsess over what's missing, your mind will multiply the lack. But if you practice noticing the good, especially the quiet, ordinary good, your brain will begin to rewire itself for peace. Gratitude is not denial. It's direction. The Stoics trained themselves to attend to what they had, not what they feared. Not because they were naive, but because they understood. You become what you meditate on. Start small. Be grateful not just for comfort, but for the courage to keep showing up, for the breath in your lungs, for the chance to begin again today. That's not soft thinking. That's strength through perspective. Your mind is like your body. It becomes what you feed it. If you consume junk all day, scrolling, gossip, outrage, noise, you'll feel mentally bloated, emotionally unstable, and spiritually off-center. Protect your attention like it's your most precious resource. Because it is. The Stoics filtered their inputs. They didn't just train their responses, they guarded their environments. What you allow into your mental space will either anchor you or erode you. Start filtering. What are you reading, watching, listening to? Who are you around? Every input is either fuel or friction. Choose wisely. Gratitude isn't some cheesy habit for people who don't know pain. It's a warrior's mindset. You don't practice gratitude because life is easy. You do it because life is hard, and gratitude makes you stronger. The Stoics didn't avoid suffering. They acknowledged it and then redirected their focus to what they could still honor, still build, still protect. On your hardest day, ask, what do I still have? Not to ignore the pain, but to remind your nervous system that not all is lost. Gratitude isn't an escape. It's armor. Your mood doesn't come from one big moment. It's shaped by your repeated motions. The way you move, speak, sit, breathe. These small rituals become your emotional home. That's why discipline isn't just about achievement. It's about stability. If you start the day with silence, movement, or purpose, your nervous system learns to feel safe. And safety becomes clarity. Clarity becomes joy. You don't need a breakthrough. You need rhythm. And the fastest way to regulate your emotions is to regulate your habits. Nobody owes you peace. That's the truth most people run from. It's not your partner's job, not your manager's, not society's. The Stoics taught radical ownership. If your mind is a mess, clean it. If your body is neglected, move it. If your relationships are toxic, set boundaries. You're not responsible for everything that happens to you, but you're fully responsible for how you show up in response. The moment you accept that life stops feeling like something you survive and starts becoming something you shape. Thinking is a tool, not a home. Most people live trapped in their heads. They confuse worrying with preparation and rumination with insight. But the Stoics knew overthinking is often cowardice in disguise, a way to delay action. Train your thoughts the way you train your body. Don't just let them wander. Guide them, correct them, question them. Ask, is this thought useful? If not, let it pass. Just like a cloud, just like a story that doesn't belong to you anymore. That's how peace becomes a practice. Don't wait to feel good. Build a system that keeps you grounded. Even when life doesn't cooperate. The Stoics didn't trust motivation. They trusted habits. If you only move when you're inspired, you'll spend most of your life stuck. But if you move because it's who you are now, because it's part of your structure, you become unstoppable. Systems don't rely on mood. They rely on rhythm. So stop hoping to feel like it and start building a system that moves you. Even when you don't want to move, you've been hurt. You've been disappointed, maybe even betrayed, but you are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to do next. The Stoics didn't ignore wounds, but they refused to become victims. Pain can be real and still not define you. You can validate your struggle without turning it into your identity. Every day you decide, will I carry this forward, or will I carve something stronger from it? Your power begins where blame ends. Your strength doesn't grow in comfort. It grows in chaos when you refuse to collapse. Don't resent the hard days. Study them. They are revealing what still triggers you, where you still run, what you still cling to. The Stoics didn't ask for ease. They asked for resilience, for the courage to face difficulty and emerge refined, not bitter. Let every difficult day be a dojo, a training ground for the mindset you say you want. There is no wasted pain if you're paying attention. We keep chasing something out there, status, approval, applause. But joy doesn't live in outcomes. It lives in alignment. Are you living by your principles? Are you being honest with yourself? Are you keeping the promises you made in silence? That's where the real joy is, not in how life looks, but in how it feels when you know you're living clean. The Stoics didn't seek applause. They sought alignment, and from that alignment came peace. You don't need a 5-step plan. You need to remove the noise. The world overcomplicates happiness. More goals, more apps, more inputs, but the answer is often less. Less distraction, less comparison, less chasing. Simplify your routine. Clarify your values, and stop trying to feel everything at once. You'll be amazed what returns when you stop trying to manage the whole world at once. How you end your day matters. Don't fall asleep scrolling through anxiety. End with awareness. Ask, what did I do well today? What am I grateful for? What did I survive? This isn't about toxic positivity. It's about closure. The Stoics reviewed their days with honesty and compassion, not to judge, but to improve. You don't need a perfect day. You need an honest one, and an evening that says, I tried, I learned, I'm still here. That's enough. Peace and joy aren't distant mountains you climb once. They're daily trails you walk step by step. With intention. The world won't always cooperate, but your inner world can. So don't wait for perfect mornings or calm seasons. Start now with breath, with stillness, with the decision to try, because happiness isn't a finish line. It's a rhythm, and it's yours to build. What's one habit that makes you stronger no matter how you feel? Share it in the comments. Let others learn from your discipline. And if this message helped you stop waiting and start building, subscribe to StoicCraft for weekly tools to